Hello everyone, happy Monday and welcome to Body Empowerment. I come to you from McCarran Park in Brooklyn, New York on my way to yoga class. And I'm using my yoga mat as a tripod because I'm totes MacGyver and stuff. So, today's episode is about nurturing and sustaining body self-love, which is an incredible and vast and crucial and profound topic. That was a request from my dear friend Melanie. And I've been sitting with and marinating on this topic for a few weeks now because I felt, gosh, it's like the point of this body empowerment series, and it's the point of so much of our lives. And so I wanted to get it right, but I decided there's no way to get it right, and all I can do is really offer some thoughts. So the first thought I want to make is the distinction between nurturing and sustaining. Nurturing is the art of cultivating, creating, and activating body self-love, while sustaining is creating an ongoing journey that is accessing the self-love that was nurtured and cultivated in part one, right? So once I've made that distinction, there's a few ways to do all of that. So nurturing body self-love can happen in an infinite amount of ways. Melanie brought up the amazing point, sorry, I'm now in the splits. Melanie brought up the amazing point of sharing how her journey has been about ownership and taking ownership that she deserves and is allowed to take up space. And that made me think a lot about, in my own journey of body self-love, how much overcoming abuse played a role in all of that. So I've talked about it here before, but I was sexually abused during a extended period in high school, and then during a specific single incident in college. And the way I really had to come to reclaim ownership of my body, spiritually, literally, metaphorically, concretely, and sort of tell my oppressors that they no longer had power over my body. That was a really crucial, formative moment in my life in terms of nurturing body self-love, just reclaiming ownership of my body from those traumatic experiences. And I know that not everyone is coming from a trauma like that in their journey of body self-love. So whatever it is, I think we are all fighting in this world to feel like we have ownership of ourselves, whether that is based on how we play on the playground as kids, how we are in our workspace, you name it. There is this world out there of argumentative body ownership. And so step one is really, thank you, Melanie, for pointing it out, having ownership of your body. And how you do that can happen in, again, an infinite number of ways, whether it's through a process of professional help, whether it's through books, whether it's through mantras, mind instruments where you're telling yourself that you love yourself and your body deserves love and to be loved. Melanie pointed me onto an amazing website I checked out that she told me to check out called Body Heart. I'll put the name for it. There's also, I've had her here on Body Empowerment before. There's The Body Is Not an Apology, an incredible movement founded by Sonia Renee Taylor. There's a book Melanie told me about, Hungry by Crystal Wren. One of my favorite books is by Janine Roth, When Food is Love. All those sorts of resources can help us in nurturing our body self-love. But fundamentally in all that is knowing that we deserve that self-love and that our bodies are, well, I talked about this a few videos ago. Without our bodies, there is no living, right? Our bodies are our vehicle. And when we really sit and meditate on that, if you really freely, unapologetically, uninhibited, let yourself grasp that, you start to feel the profound nature of your body, and then that grants you access to loving it. And then it's exercising that habit, right? It's instead of like letting the negative thoughts take over, it's exercising that self-love. It's every time you doubt yourself or judge your body, you shift it, and instead, like for me, of like the big area in my body that I struggle with loving is my stomach. And I do not struggle with love for my large thighs at all, because I think about the amazing things I can do in this world because of my thighs. I can hike, I can do a lot of strenuous physical activities, I can lift things, and so I should probably like take my own advice and do that with my stomach, but my thighs are just an example of like, I live in a world where like, we all live in a world where like big thighs by the majority is like not a good thing, but the way I've combated that is like, what are the amazing things that my big thighs allow me to do? Same with my butt. My big butt, it like allows me to sit comfortably. Like when I'll go to yoga and do sitting postures, like it keeps me grounded, right? So that's one way to nurture body self-love, is to really like talk to and get to know and honor each part of your body and the incredible things that it does, right? Like our eyes allow us to see, and for those that can't use their eyes and don't see, there are other parts of their bodies that they get to honor, and their eyes, still allow, like, meaning even when the parts of our bodies don't do the things we think they should be able to do, there's something else for us to learn there, right? Like, there's something that each thing we have and how it operates can allow us to do. Because I want to be really conscious that not every body works and looks and acts the same. So it's a matter of really meditating on each organ, each limb, each appendage, each everything, and really like try that. What happens when you spend an hour just lying on your back and like talking with your toes, and then your feet, and then your ankles and your legs, and all the things they allow you to do? When you start to have gratitude for every part of your body, there's no room to not love it. There's only room to have gratitude, which brings us to love. So that's nurturing. Sustaining is a whole other beast. Sustaining body love, body self-love is, that's a tough one, because I know for me sometimes I feel like when I like get something and have an epiphany and cultivate a new belief system or practice, I'm like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life every single day and I'm never going to fail. I'm never going to fail. It's going to be perfect. And that's not really fair or realistic, right? So sustaining, I really think sustaining is about having a toolbox. There's an amazing book by Johanna Kandel, and oh my gosh, it's slipping my mind right now, the title, but she is the head of an eating disorder nonprofit based in Florida. I will put the title underneath this part of the video and also in the description of the video. But she's got a great book she's written about eating disorder recovery, and she talks about toolboxes. And she offers an amazing range of tools to put in your toolbox. But that's a concept I've always kept with me, and I was so excited when I read Johanna's book and saw that it was something she embraces as well. The toolbox that you cultivate, that you gather when you are learning to nurture, is so that in every struggle, in every obstacle, in every difficult, challenging situation and moment, you have a whole range and spectrum of tools that you can use and utilize to go back to that nurturing, right? So the sustaining is like an ongoing re-nurturing process. The sustaining of body self-love is, it's reactivating those things that are already in you, right? So when you nurture body self-love, you teach your body how to feel loving and grateful for itself. loving of and grateful for itself. The sustaining is knowing when you are in a space that you need to go back to reactivating those exercises. So for me, sustaining, well, it's maintaining the ongoing belief that my body deserves to be loved by myself itself. And then in the moments I struggle, it's going back to like my breath. That's one of my tools in my toolbox. Deep breath. Yoga is one way I sustain body self-love, so that's why I'm on my way to yoga today, because I felt like loving my body in that way. Movement is a way that I maintain body self-love, and gratitude. Having the gratitude, the exercise I mentioned earlier about really meditating on every part of your body and what it gives you. And other things to sustain, who knows, maybe you create a quote journal and you've got a journal of quotes you've created for yourself on why you love your body, and when you're having a tough time loving it, you go to your quote book or your quote journal and you look at a quote that you've given yourself. Maybe it's having reminders, post-its on your mirror. I love my body. If you check out The Body Is Not an Apology, they have Bad Picture Mondays, and you post on Facebook a bad picture of yourself as your profile, and that is like an amazing practice, because in doing that you are feeling empowered for the day. So every Monday, with that practice, with that movement, you're sustaining your body self-love. So there are so many ways to do it, and it's also really important to have people and things around you that remind you to go back to a space of self-love, because self-love is a really crucial part here. There is body love from other people. There is, going out and trying to seek appreciation and authenticity and acceptance and acknowledgement from others. But that ultimately is not sustainable. The true sustainable love is the self-love for the body. And that's when you make the decisions for everything your body experiences from a place of personal authenticity and love. Think about how you would treat people you love and their bodies. Bring that back to yourself. So the self-love is a really key part here. There's a huge difference between body love and body self-love, because self-love is, that's the root of all that our body experiences. When we are loving our bodies, ourselves, we are attracting good and participating in good. So that, long up there on the timer. This is a long video, and I think it's about time for me to head to yoga. So have a beautiful week and next 2 weeks until the next episode. And I look forward to hearing everyone's thoughts, and thank you again, Melanie, for this amazing topic. I feel like it merits like a million videos. So I look forward to hearing everyone's thoughts, and I wish you much, much body self-love.